I feel like this is twisted a little bit. Maybe that's better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. All right. All right, we'll give it a couple minutes and then we'll get started. We got all kinds of mail to go through. Might even talk about today's Nintendo Direct. Who knows? Or I'm sorry, the Pokemon Direct. All right, another minute lined up, so. Yo, what's up, dude? Let me know if the stream's hiccuping a little bit. My phone on. Turn cell signal off on my phone. Oh my. Alright. I literally turned cell signal off on my phone, but somehow people can keep calling me. I love it. But yeah, let me know if the stream's having a hiccup or not. But yeah, so like I said, we're gonna go through some mail. Obviously, you got a whole bunch of it to go through. Stuff I've been sitting on for like 2 weeks because I wanted to do mail day last week, but it's all good. But yeah, gotcha. Yeah, again, it's it's bots trying to call me to talk about absolutely nothing. Kind of like today's Nintendo Direct. But yeah, we'll go through some mail, and then might take a short break and eat, and then I'm hopefully gonna be streaming with the guys over at /frag. We're gonna be playing some more marathon. We played a little bit last night. I'm really enjoying it so far. I know a lot of people are, putting their absolutely terrible opinions on it, but to each their own, right? But yeah, we're gonna be playing some more marathon a lot throughout this weekend. You do get like bonus items and stuff if you reach a certain level before actual launch. So, but yeah, I'm not a huge extraction shooter player by any means, but it's a Bungie title. The game mechanics looks great. Gotcha. Yeah, and again, I know it's a little bit different than other extraction shooters, right? But again, it definitely has the Bungie feel to it. The weapon feel is great. It does seem like a little bit of a slower pace, but again, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, the PvE element is no joke. The bots are strong, and I know there's zones where they're even stronger. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let me do the intro real quick. Well, what's going on, everybody? WakoBako here. As you guys can see by the thumbnail, ignore the title. It is what it is. I'm just kind of venting. Today we have mail day. Have a whole bunch of mail that I've been sitting on for a little bit. So it probably won't be too long of a stream. We'll go through the mail. We'll try and put some cards in binders that they belong in. Might talk about today's Pokemon or Nintendo Direct. But yeah, let's get into some mail. So I still have more stuff coming in like usual, right? There's always mail coming in, but I was hoping to get some more stuff in today, but we'll have to save for the next one. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. And then this is stuff from all over the place. This is stuff from eBay, stuff from TCG Player, stuff from Instagram. So just mail from everywhere. But let's go through these first. And again, as we go through this, right now I got my sleeves off to the side. I'll probably end up sleeving and getting stuff ready to put in binders. I'm pretty sure there's a few cards in here I'm going to end up getting graded and add to that massive grading pile. But without further ado, let's get into these. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good week and hopefully you have some exciting plans for the weekend. Again, I'm kind of just hanging out. And then going to be playing a bunch of marathons. So, all right, first card. And I try and prep these ahead of time, like especially with these envelopes, right? I try to prep them because I don't want my information going out and being leaked. But the way that this envelope was, all right, I'm going to try and do this without revealing either the card. Okay, cool. So there we go. TCG Player order. If I flip this over, obviously it has the order info and all my info, so I'm not going to do that. But so something else we'll keep in mind, right? And again, it's not really, I'm not trying to place judgment, but it's more of like a feedback thing, right? I always look at how I get stuff from these sellers, right? Especially from TCG Player. I know people have had some terrible luck, and I've had some bad luck before, but this looks pretty decent so far, right? It's in a top loader. I see it's in a card sleeve. Not bad. And this is only one card in this order, so it's not like there's a bunch of cards jammed in there, which you guys have seen me deal with that problem before. Let's see the next part. And look, no Scotch tape on the top loader. So, all right, I'd say this is a pretty successful and safe ship right there. All right, let's flip this over and take a look and see what our first card is for mail day. Ooh, nice. Okay, very, very nice. So we get Stevens Metagross, or EX, sorry. This card is absolutely insane. This is from Mega Dream EX. It's one of the few SARs I haven't pulled. And if you guys saw my recent opening and how my luck was with Mega Dream, I think the luck ran out. So, and that's why I was kind of hinting to, hey, like, if only we did mail day. Like, I kind of dropped that hint, I don't know, like 8 times during that stream. Because I had so many other cards that, again, I had bought and were just sitting here waiting to show you guys. But it is what it is. Oh, I also need to shout out, as I go through this, some of these sellers. So here we got this from Infinite Cards and Games, all the way over in Fullerton, California. Made the long trek all the way across the country to make it to me. Let's take a look. There we go. Get that out. Look at the order. Get all my personal info out of the way. But yeah, and again, it's one of those things I just like giving shout outs, right? Like, and again, if these sellers ever see this, highly unlikely, but If everything went well and the order got here safe and the card's in good condition, I'd like to give shout outs. You can check them out. I used to drop links to every single seller in the description, but as you can tell here, most of this would take forever to do that. So if I reference TCG Player and the seller, right, it's very easy to find them. All right, so this one here, let's take a look. Again, I think this is just another individual card. Got a nice little team bag here. Again, top loader, and it's in a card sleeve, so good to go there. Let's take a look and see what we got. No scotch tape at the top. It's one of my biggest pet peeves if you guys have been around for a while, or if you're just checking me out. Even when I was selling and shipping cards, I would never, ever put scotch tape on a top loader. I'd rather use like blue painter's tape or find a different way to secure it. All right, next card, let's see what we got. Ooh, nice. Okay, so this card, besides the fact that it's absolutely beautiful, this is the Mega Lucario EX. This is from the first Mega Evolutions Japanese set. Couple reasons why I got this card, right? This reminds me of the battle cards where, and of course Venusaur is always tied into these for some reason. But you've seen it where like the Charizard artwork, he's fighting I wish he was fighting Blastoise, where he's fighting Venusaur. One of the reasons why I got this card, if you look at the English equivalent, and I'll give you a couple seconds to look it up, it's from the Mega Evolution set. The English version of this card is 2 to 3 times more expensive than its Japanese counterpart for the same absolutely beautiful artwork. The only caveat to that is this card is probably in better condition, especially in terms of like centering and overall quality control. Again, still an absolutely beautiful card. I thought it was pretty sick, and I was just waiting for it to go down to where it was affordable for me. But yeah, the artwork's absolutely insane. So it's gonna be kind of cool, especially because I have the yeah, it is absolutely insane. But because I have the Charizard and, well, actually, let me just grab real quick. I'm gonna sidetrack myself. Hold on one sec. Let's see. Good thing I don't have to go too far to go through some of this stuff. Okay, so this is what I was talking about here. So this card here, again, it's Charizard battling Venusaur, and again, this is my pristine 10 copy of this. I like all these battle cards, right? And I think once I get that one graded, hopefully it scores just as high. But I thought it was pretty neat. But again, to grossly overpay for the English one just for the sake of it being in English. And I think the Japanese cards, as of late, have been grading a lot better than English. And I actually have a couple experiments I'm going to be doing with some of the card submissions that are going to put that to the test. Yeah, I have some card submissions lined up where it's literally an English equivalent and a Japanese equivalent of the same artwork. But anyway, Mega Lucario EX, the card looks absolutely insane. If you just like the artwork and you don't care about what language it's in, definitely check out Japanese cards. Definitely check out traditional and simplified Chinese. There's a lot of absolutely beautiful artwork out there, and you don't have to pay these ridiculous prices if you're just that kind of casual collector. All right, I love seeing this envelope, especially because I know exactly who it's from every single time I see it. This came over from someone that I met on Instagram a long time ago. She's absolutely amazing. But funny enough, and it was just weird timing, but she used to work for CGC. She's actually in a bunch of the videos on their social media. But yeah, this came over from Sophie. She's absolutely amazing. I'll definitely link her Instagram in the description, but just absolutely amazing person. But I'm glad I hesitated to flip it over. I was like, wait, is my info out? Yeah, she every once in a while she'll put stuff up on Instagram for sale, and I always try to pick through and see what she has. Not only because I don't mind supporting her, but she always has some really cool stuff from her collection. If you guys remember, this is the same person I bought a bunch of the Japanese tag team cards from. And again, super professional, just a very nice person to chat with. But again, ooh, revealing already. Oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So she has her own little custom little Pokemon card here. But that's her name on Instagram. Definitely go check her out. Again, I'll drop a link in the description for the regular upload for, for those of you if you're not watching the stream live. But yeah, just real salt of the earth person, super, super nice. And again, she always sends these really cool cards, so I like that. This is something that you don't really see anymore. A lot of customer orders, especially from Instagram, you would get cards like this, or everyone's signing their own cards, which I thought was super neat. But so this time around, and let me see. Yeah, so this time around, I was collecting a bunch of these cards, right? So these are secret rares from Japanese Mega Evolution sets. Now, again, I told you guys I wasn't really going to be collecting a lot of Mega Evolution stuff or opening it up. But the concept of this artwork, oh, nice little bonus card there. Very, very neat. Thank you. But I like the concept of this artwork, right? Where it's the regular form, or I'm sorry, it's the Mega Evolution form and then the regular form in the background, which the funniest thing is with the Mega Kangaskhan, it's literally just its baby comes out of the pouch. That's really the only difference. Kangaskhan itself looks identical. It's the exact same. But I like the kind of shadow effect. And we saw this in Scarlet and Violet, where it was the Pokemon and its trainer in the shadow. But they continued on similar artwork, just a little bit different arrangement. So same thing here, right? You have Latios, or I'm sorry, there's Latias. But again, regular form and then it's Mega. And then same thing here, you have Gardevoir and her Mega as well. There are, I forgot. Okay, so there's Venusaur and its Mega. So here, and again, I don't mind this at all, right? It's just 2 cards. They're in their own individual sleeves. They're back to back. I just surprised myself flipping that over because I completely forgot. And again, you guys know I order stuff all the time. I do genuinely forget on some orders. But yeah, so let's flip it over and let's see what we got here. So I got a bunch of these cards, right? And again, so you have Venusaur, you have Gardevoir, you have Latios, or Latias, I always mix those up. And then you have Abomasnow, and then you have Kangaskhan. Now, the cool thing about the card behind this, and I'm just going to put this here, when I bought this, to be completely honest, and Sophie, if you're watching this, it's no fault of your own, right? Just me not paying attention. I was like, oh, exciting. I saw this card and that was me like, hey, can you look this up? I'm interested. I didn't realize it until after the fact, but check this out. Look at this absolute beauty. First edition Dark Machamp from my favorite set of all time, good old Team Rocket. So the 2 things I didn't pay attention to, right? I didn't realize this giant swirl there, which looks absolutely beautiful. But I also didn't realize that this was the holo. Because again, it was just a still picture sitting like this. So I was like, all right, cool, just, regular background, whatever, it's first edition, I'll take it. But then I looked in the bottom corner and realized that, nope, that's the holo. So if you guys don't remember, I completed my Team Rocket set forever ago, and majority of it is first edition. But not all of the holos are first edition. So, and again, thanks to the help of Sophie, I'm going through and slowly piecemealing all the first edition holos. Now, as you guys know, as we get to the last couple, right? So Charizard, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Dragonite, and Raichu are going to be very, very expensive. But some of these ones are fairly cheap, and this card looks like it's in absolutely amazing shape. I know this came from her collection. And again, it's just going to sit in my binder for the rest of its life. So very, very awesome pickup. And again, some great cards. So again, thank you, Sophie. If you're checking this out, I'm looking forward to the next order from you. Hopefully all is well with you. And yeah, feel free to hit me up. I know we like chatting about stuff going on with CGC because she was an employee and I'm currently an employee. So, all right, let's put all these here. Let's move this up top. I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. But yeah, off to a really, really good start. Again, got some great cards here. And again, this is just the first bit of the mail. And just for full transparency, right? Every time we do mail day, there's never someone else like, oh, you're spending so much money in this. How can you afford this stuff? Well, first of all, I'm smart with my money. Pay all your bills first. Don't just start splurging on cards and stuff if you can't afford it. But also, again, it's timing, right? Like just knowing where and when to buy stuff. Keeping an eye on certain individual cards. You know, there's a way that I do it. And I'm not saying I've completely figured out, right? It's just what works for me. but you know, especially because I'm not opening up as much as of late, it's able for me to, you know, focus more on collecting, right, and getting cards instead of trying to, you know, shop around and rip packs. I'm always for, you know, if you see a card, right, number one, don't buy it on day one. Let the prices kind of go down a bit. But yeah, I mean, if you see a card that you like, or you're, you know, you're almost complete with a set, shop around, try to find that card. You know what I mean? Like, right? Yeah, if only. All right, so let's get back to this though. So this came from Cataclysm Games. Next order here. Let's take a look and see what we got. Looking pretty good so far. Again, top loader. Card is in one of these little team bags. But yeah, and like always, right? And something that I repeat over and over again. Collect what you want. Oh, this is funny. I like seeing this too, right? I've ordered them before. They always put these stickers on here, right? And I just think it's just that extra little bit of flair and stuff that I like. So, but it's pretty neat. I like that. Oh, what was I saying? I sidetracked myself there. Oh, something I always say, right? And it's kind of like a mantra of mine, but collect what you want, collect how you want, right? If you're more into sealed stuff, or you can afford to get all kinds of crazy high-end stuff, go for it. I think there's just one card in this, hopefully. But again, kind of right now, my big focus is picking up individual cards for sets, and then opening up Japanese and Chinese sets, both traditional and simplified. So that's kind of the plan for this year. And on top of grading, I don't know, hundreds of cards this year, all for my personal collection, which I'm excited for. Anyway, let's flip this over and see what this card is. Ooh, nice. All right, very, very nice. So you guys have seen that I have the complete sets of these Mega Action cards in Japanese, but I didn't have any of the English ones. Obviously, the few that came out, and it's funny because there's only 7 for Ascended Heroes, even though there's 10 in total. So this is one of the ones that's not with the set. This came with the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. Yeah, very, very cool card. Mega Charizard X, EX. It's such a weird naming convention. But I had it in Japanese, and I was like, you know, I got to get it in English. Not only because, you know, it's a promo, but it's, you know, the price has gone down on this drastically since that product came out. So it was a little bit more affordable and easier to get there. On to the next. This one came from Paper Glaive TCG, another California order. Did I not even... Oh, no, I didn't even prep this one. I do like this, though, right? Handle with care. That was one of the things that I always put on my stuff, right? I always had little stickers that put on all of my shipped orders. Because, again, if you don't put stuff like that, and again, it's nothing... No fault to the people at the post office, but they're just doing their job. They're going to bend that stuff. They're going to just push along. But let's take a look and see. Off to a good start here. Looks like... All right, so a couple top loaders, right? And again, right, this is what I like here. Let's see if that card's stuck to the top of it. It's not. You get a little bit of painter's tape there. Not bad. I like it. All right, let's see. So we got this pretty cool energy card. This was obviously just a bonus that they threw in. Well, let's flip over. Okay, so they just put that in here. Yeah, and same, and again, like, even, it's I know you're not going to be able to see it on stream, but even just, like, the texture and the overall look of this card is so much different compared to the Japanese counterpart. But, yeah, it was one of those, again, I just like, hey, let me get the Japanese, or let me get the English versions as well. This energy is pretty neat. I think this came with the black and white sets when they did holos for that, so that's pretty cool. Nice little extra card there. I'm not going to complain about that. But let's see what's in this here. I'm slowly trying to work on getting a lot of the Charizards, especially like the ultra rare ones, that are a little bit more affordable, right? Especially from this gen, any of the ones from Sword and Shield, even some of the stuff from Sun and Moon. Because again, I'm not a Charizard collector by any means, but I do have a few. But some of the ultra rares, right, especially the GXs, the Vs and VMAX, they're fairly cheap. And if you can get them in good condition and grade them, you know, you just add them to the collection. All right, another Japanese card. Let's see what we got. Ooh, very, very nice. So this is the Mega Diancie EX. Again, another card from Mega Dream. It's another SAR I did not pull, which again, I don't really mind. It's one of those that, again, instead of me buying booster boxes and trying to rip and pull it, sometimes it just makes sense to just buy the cards. I'm not against that at all. All right, ET Collectibles from good old Brooklyn. I like to call it Crooklyn. Nothing against the people of New York, but come on, let's be honest. Plus, I'm from New Jersey, so I like to bust chops on New York any chance that I get. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. There's the order form. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, interesting. Kind of interested to see how this is going to go. So we got it in these cool little Ziplocs. Oh, okay. This shouldn't be anything too crazy. It looks like there's a bunch of cards in here. So let's see how this goes. Especially because I only ordered one card. But let's see how this goes. Trying to get this out of here. Okay. I'm just going to try to take just the cards out. Yeah, so with the sleeve itself, it's not going to come out. Okay. Gave me a whole bunch. Okay. Let's see what these are. I have an idea of what one of them are. One of them is. My goodness, my brain is destroyed. Sorry. Been working hard this week. All right, so brand new Raichu artwork. This came from Ascended Heroes. And again, I'm trying to keep up with all the Raichus, all the Dragonites, and all the Blastoise. But I saw this and I thought it was really, really neat. But yeah, let's take a look and see what else is in here. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's, well, nope, it's just, all right. I was hoping at first it's just going to be, you know, one of each energy, but no, it's just a bunch of random energy. So thanks. I guess that helps fill out the order. And I know this isn't a crazy expensive card by any means. That was just interesting to say the least. So there's two other versions of this card, right? You have the two other reverses, right? One is one of the Pokeballs, and then one is the energy symbol reverse. But again, new Raichu artwork from Ascended Heroes. Very, very neat. Let's just put this up here. You guys can still see this, right? Like everything still looks good on stream. Let me know if I need to shuffle some stuff over. I still super excited about this Darkman Champ. It's absolutely insane. Can't wait to add that to the binder. All right, on to the next. We have Mosswood TCG. This came over from great state of Texas. All right. Oh! Literally almost revealed all my information because I was just about to say, oh, I'm doing this so I don't. So the last thing I need to do is, oh, all right, there you go. That's pretty cool. It's always helpful, right? Especially, you know, as a previous or prior eBay seller. The reviews and feedback definitely help, which is funny because I get emails from eBay all the time. Hey, you know, like, we're curious about your top seller status. And it's like, yeah, I haven't sold on eBay since July of last year. As much as I'd like to go back and do it, it's kind of like conflict of interest with what I do for work now. So, and again, I'd rather have the job and the paycheck I'm getting now compared to selling on eBay, even though I did enjoy it. But anyway, ooh, cards out of sleeve a little bit, but it's all right. Not a big deal. It's not like it's dinged up or anything. So let's take a look. English card or possibly Chinese, because fun fact, the Chinese Pokemon TCG and Korean uses the English backs. The only cards that use the Japanese backs are the Japanese. They made a distinction that, hey, we want our cards to stand out and be unique. I don't know why the Chinese market or the Chinese, I guess the Chinese TCG didn't do their own design. I guess it's just simpler to just use this. But anyway, let's flip this over. Ooh, very, very nice. Haven't seen this card in a long time, even though it's only from 2021. Yeah, I remember. Dude, I remember. Dude, I do remember when I showed that off, right? I got that submission back. We did the stream. We did the recap. I showed that off. And if you guys don't know, right, Salty, you know, go check him out on Twitch. Go check out the Instagram. He's got all kinds of good stuff going. But he's a huge fan of sloths, which was hilarious because, again, got that card. I'm pretty sure it was in a pristine 10. But as soon as he saw it, he's like, dude, you know, hook it up. Let's figure something out. Got that sent out to him. But no, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember that was a good one. But again, Lance's Charizard here from 2021. This came from, which is kind of funny timing, right? Because, you know, we're talking about the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. And this came from Celebrations, which was the 25th anniversary set. Unfortunately, today we got literally no information or reveal about what they're actually going to do for the 30th anniversary set, besides flashing some old cards on the screen and then a cheesy video of Mew and Mewtwo with some energy symbols around them. Oh man, that's super cool. So actually going to get for the anniversary set, but again, getting some Charizards, especially, you know, I have one of these for the binder, but not for grading purposes. So we're going to try our luck there. All right, quality assured TCG out of the great state, one of the greatest states in my opinion. Not politically, but I'm just saying one of the greater states. Good old New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey. Let's get this open, which is actually funny when I got this, right? You know how there's usually like a little plastic like this here, right? There's usually a little plastic. This didn't have it. So I was like, oh, all right, I can just scribble on that, get my information off of it. All right. Let's take a look. Another Japanese card. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. Again, nice little bag here. It's in a top loader, and it's still in a sleeve, so not bad. You know, it's so funny. I always see people with top loaders, right, where they do this, and they just like, they're doing all this craziness. Just don't do that. Like, I'd rather just kind of pry it open a little bit. But that's just me. I know people freak out when I do that, but I don't care. Anyway, let's take a look. Another Japanese card. Let's take a look and see which one it is. Ooh, this is actually really sick. So, this Electros is absolutely insane because I've never seen artwork this dynamic for this Pokemon before. But again, another card from Mega Dream EX is another absolutely beautiful SAR. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pull it. But again, really, really cool artwork. And again, as you can see, I was cleaning up the set. All right, nice. So from good old Shreveport, Louisiana, this came from Zach's Card Vault. It's always cool, Zach supporting another Zach. But let's take a look and see what we got on this one. Ooh, cool little sleeve there. Wonder if that's from one of the ETBs or if that's just like a Pokemon Center sleeve. But let's take a look and see what we got. Scotch tape on top, so not a big fan of that, but the card is in a sleeve, so can't complain. Again, just my own complaint about this is if you ever want to reuse top loaders, it's a pain to get this off, and you know, people are like, oh, just use like Goo Gone or any of those kind of products. It just gums up the top loader, and most of the time when I have stuff like this, I'll just throw away the top loader. Like, I'm just, yeah, because again, you're going to peel that off, it's going to leave some kind of residue. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a look and see what we got. Very, very cool sleeve. It's got like a matte finish on it. I really like that sleeve. I'll probably hold on to this. But let's flip over. Very, very cool looking Charizard. So this is Charizard EX. There's a couple different artworks for this.
Zach?
What?
Can I play on my computer?
Not right now.
Wait, is that Minecraft?
No, it's not Minecraft. It's just playing a video.
Is that Minecraft?
Kinda. Can you shut the door, please? Thanks, bud. Good old nephew popping in. But yeah, so this Charizard EX artwork, this is the promo version of this. They released this card with, oh my goodness, no, what set was that? Hold on. Let me look up here. Oh yeah, Obsidian Flames. When they first revealed this artwork, or the original version, not this alt-art version. But again, it's another Charizard I needed. I think I actually have this product, but I just never opened it. It was one of those that was like already hard to find it, and it was going up in price. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll just buy the loose card, put it in the grading pile. And it's funny, as I'm saying that, I'm like, oh, put it in the grading pile. And then I know I'm going to have to take them out of these sleeves to put them in the grading sleeves, but I'll do that later. Can you guys still see Raichu if it sits over here? Let me know. But yeah, going to hold on to that sleeve. Very, very neat. On to the next. All right. We get Daryl Osis. This came over from California. Yeah, you can still see Raichu's hanging out at the top there. All right. Nice little thank you signature. And again, that's kind of common practice, right? People will sign energy cards or just random like bulk cards. Nice little bag here. All right. Cards in a top loader, in a sleeve. Awesome. Checks all the boxes for me. Good to go there. All right. Let's take a look and see what card this is. English card. All right. Here we go. Let's flip over. Nice. All right, cool. So here is one of the reverses. And again, this is one of the Pokeball variants, and then the other reverse variant just has the lightning energy symbol down here on the bottom. Again, same card, right? It's all from Ascended Heroes. I'm just going to leave this in this sleeve here. Actually, let's see. If I put it down here, still in view, got a little bit of room here. Dope. As I start making a mess of things, trying to stay organized. That's all right. There we go. Just because I have a feeling I still have more cards that are going to go right here, if that makes sense. All right. Anyway, on to the next. This came over from UG, or UG. Another card from the great state of New Jersey. Next time I go up there and visit some family, because I still got family up there, I really want to check out some of the card shops, right? Especially these ones that I've purchased from before. You know, New Jersey's not that big of a state. And I know, especially South Jersey, there's all kinds of card shops and stuff. Unfortunately, you got some Scotch tape on top of this top loader here, so lose a couple points, but I think from it being from New Jersey, it kind of balances itself back out. It's such a dumb metric, but anyway, let's take a look and see what we got here. Again, another Japanese card. Ooh, all right. Kind of gave you a little bit of leeway here, but 2 strikes. There's multiple cards in one sleeve. Please, please, please don't ever do this. Whether you're just collecting and putting stuff in a binder or putting it away, don't ever put multiple cards in the same sleeve. One of my other humongous pet peeves. I just absolutely hate seeing that. Because, and again, these aren't the most expensive cards, right? But imagine if they were, and you put 2 of them on top of each other. They're bound to get scratched or scuffed up or something like that. So just don't do it. And it's good for, you know, practice, whether you're a seller or not. Even if you're collecting, right? Just don't put multiple cards in the same sleeve. Yeah. Anywho, let's take a look and see what 2 cards these are. Ooh, okay. Nice. So, weird story about these cards. So this is Team Rocket's Crobat. Obviously, this is the ultra rare from Glory of Team Rocket. Now, somehow, and I went back and I double checked endless amount of times, I've ordered these 2 cards before. Now, unfortunately, these cards are somewhere out in the ether because I was looking through my little mini binder where these cards are supposed to be, and they're not there. It's just one of those things that I know it seems like it's obvious and it should be, right? You just, one of the things you just don't do. But yeah, so one of these is supposed to go in my Glory Team Rocket binder and the other one goes in the mini binder. But I've ordered these cards before. They're somewhere out in the ether. They disappeared, or, you know, the mail guy was like, oh, Pokemon cards, let me take them. Not point fingers, but yeah, they never made it in. Luckily, they're cheap. So I just reordered them. Anywho, on to the next. Pokehive. Very, very awesome gentleman here. Runs a very, very tight ship. Awesome store. I think they're at a couple locations now in Texas. But yeah, definitely go check out Pokehive. Whether it's TCG Player, check them out on Instagram. They always have all kinds of awesome stuff. If you live anywhere near San Antonio, definitely stop in the shop. I know, like, we're not like super close friends or anything, but if you end up making it into the shop, let them know that I sent you. Be at Pokehive. Super awesome. They have all kinds of great stuff all the time. Really, really awesome business. Like to see, you know, people be successful. All right. And I've ordered from them a whole bunch, right? Whether it was directly on Instagram or the TCG Player webpage. All right, let's take a look. Very cool Mega Lucario sleeve from the Elite Trainer box. Ooh, very, very nice. So we have the Frostlass SAR, or Mega Frostlass SAR, rather. I'll re-sleeve this later. But again, another one of the SARs from Mega Dream EX that I was missing. As you can tell, I was missing a few, right? So glad I was able to pick them up. And again, they're fairly cheap, or at least what I would say is affordable for me to pick up. This one I had to pick up, and again, there's multiple shops that had this card, but Category 5, I think that's hilarious, especially if you know anything about hurricanes. But yeah, down in Miami, Florida, a little bit south from where I am. But let's take a look and see. So this is the Witchcraft, and I don't understand how this works. So cards in here, right? It's got the little paper in here, but it's taped on the inside as well. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just dumb. Hold on. Maybe this is one of those. Nope, it's not taped. I'm just stupid. Anyway, every once in a while you'll see where they have like the tape on the inside of the envelope. Maybe I'm just dumb. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we got here. All right. Again, card in a top loader, or in a sleeve, in a top loader, in a bag. I'm glad to see this has become more standardized. And I really hope it's more of like the shop owners just become more smart. If it's not that way, maybe it's TCG player like actually screening orders. But all right, let's take a look and see what we got. Come on. Come on. All right, there we go. Let's flip over and see what we got here. Ooh, nice. So there we go. There is the Raichu, right? So there is the other reverse, right? So again, energy symbol, Pokeball symbol, and regular. So there we go. We have all three of the Raichus. In English, there aren't any other ones. There's not another holo or anything. So there we go. All the Raichus from Ascended Heroes. There we go. Now I don't have to buy packs. No, I'm kidding. All right. Last and definitely not least, this came up from Poke Stadium, good old state of Utah. Good old Salt Lake. It's one of the few states, I'm sorry, one of the many states I haven't been to. It's kind of sad if you think that I've been to more countries than I have states in my own country. I'll let that sink in a little bit, especially for those that know me in my worldly travels, thanks to good old Uncle Sam and the United States Navy. I've traveled and been to more countries than I have states in my own country. Am I going to name them all right now? Absolutely not. Maybe we'll do like a Q&A session. You can ask during that. But last order here, let's take a look and see what we got. So, unfortunately, a bunch of tape on this one. And it's not even like Scotch tape. It's like the shipping tape on this. So, it looks like the cards, a couple different cards. My goodness. I know, right? Just a random fact, but that is kind of wild, right? I mean, and trust me, I do want to travel more within the states and check out some states that I haven't been to yet. But yeah, it's kind of wild. All right, so let's see. All right, multiple cards, separate sleeves. So there we go. That makes up for having the tape on the top loader. But let's flip over and see what we got here. Oh, nice. So nice little bonus card here. We got the Vaporeon. Now, it's funny enough. Let me flip this back over. So, the way that we label this card for what I do for work, this is the Vaporeon, right? Because it's a reverse holo, right? But we name it specifically for what kind of holo it is. So the other ones are like star pattern holo or energy holo or, you know, insert here. This is the geometric shape holo. I want to just call this one the swirl holo, because if you look at it and you move it around a little bit, it does swirl a little bit. But someone much smarter than me said, nope, this is the geometric shape reverse holo. But very, very cool bonus card. This came from one of the Chinese Pokemon sets. I want to say this is Gem Pack 2, but very, very neat. All right, last card, definitely not least. Let's take a look and see which one it is in 3, 2, 1. Nice. All right, cool. So one of the other SARs that I was missing, and it's funny because this is probably one of the cheaper SARs. We have the Surfer from Mega Dream EX. Super cool looking card. And again, it's probably one of those situations where because it's a male trainer, not a female trainer, it's not crazy expensive or sought after. It's probably not super playable either, but very, very cool SAR. But there we go. That's all the stuff I got in for mail day today. Now, don't worry. I am going to sort some of this stuff, break out a few of the binders. But all these cards here, right, like all these, they're going to go into grading sleeves and all that. I'm going to do that after the stream. I don't want to take up too much time doing all that. But, wait, hold on. Is this? Yeah, it's just regular. Okay. But yeah, so, again, Charizard's getting added. Mega Dream has some cool cards for sure. Yeah, absolutely, I would. Especially because if you look at Ascended Heroes, which is the English equivalent, it's a Lace and Grace English set, grossly overpriced. A lot of the cards are grossly overpriced. But yeah, definitely look into that set. If you have any questions about it, obviously feel free to reach out. Let me know. I even have some duplicates, right? So maybe just remind me. Send me a message on Discord. And I'll show you some of the duplicates that I have. Maybe we can figure stuff out there. But yeah, it's a very, very cool set. I'm a big proponent of building more into the Japanese set. But again, a lot of these cards here, Raichus and Charizards, these are going to go in grading pile, so I'll deal with those a little bit later. But yeah, absolutely beautiful cards. Let's see. Oh, I do have the Team Rocket. All right, so another card is going to go in the grading pile. I'll put that off to the side for right now. All these other cards here, I do have binders for, so let's get to that. So let's see. So going to pair these up because those go in the same binder. These go in one binder. All of these go in one binder. All right, let's go back through and sleeve all these up. And again, I use perfect fits, and then I use my dragon shields. It's just the combo I've used for a very long time. I like the perfect fits because that's exactly what they do. It's a perfect fit. And then the dragon shields, especially this one here, which this is the clear matte. But again, very, very nice. I love it. It's got a nice grip on the back of it, so very, very cool there. I already did it with that, so both of these are good to go. That one's good to go. All right, sleeve up some other cards here. But yeah, that's all the mail that I have for today. If you feel like, you know, dropping a stream, feel free to, right? You're not obligated to stick around and watch me sort cards and put them in a binder. But keep in mind, a little bit of a sneak preview for Sunday. And I was going to save it, but I might as well just show it off now. Got some stuff that came over from PokeNE, not sponsored, but I did purchase these. That would be a pretty sick sponsor. But the latest and greatest simplified Chinese set. This is Gem Pack Volume 4. This just came out very, very recently. Obviously, heavily featured with Ponyta. But we got a couple of boxes of that to go through. That also means we get to break out the Jumbo XL binder, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, that's what we're going to go through on Sunday's stream, so keep an eye out for that. Probably going to start around noon or 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. But like usual, right, I'll do a little bit of a heads up and a little bit of a prep before. And then, yeah, we'll have some fun. All right. Good old Mega Dream. I'm very close to completing this set now, which I'm excited about because between that and Glory Team Rocket, it's kind of crazy that I'm completing more Japanese and Chinese sets than I am English sets. But again, I've gone on rants before. I won't drag this out too long, but because it's so tough to find English product, even with a lot of the scalpers kind of going elsewhere, and the prices of all that stuff, if you're not getting it at retail, it's just, you know, do you think it's affordable? If so, then buy it. If you think it's overpriced and it should be at MSRP, you know, if you can find it in stores, you know, go that route. But it's just a personal preference for me. Plus, again, card quality, you know, if I wanted to grade these cards right, I know I'm going to have better luck grading them. And it's literally coming from, I guess, I won't call myself an expert just yet, right? I'll wait until at least at the 1 year mark and then be like, all right, I'm an expert in my craft. But for someone that does this for a living, I literally grade trading cards Monday through Friday. A lot of Japanese cards, no matter what the trading card company is, usually do better, right? They have a lot better quality control, and they're not just mass, you know, pump and dumping cards out. So, again, just my own opinion. But yeah, that's why I prefer the Japanese cards, and just like the texturing on a lot of these cards, right? They're just something about them just makes these cards stand out and look a little bit more appealing. But yeah, again, I've been collecting for a long time now, and I've always preferred, even if you look at vintage, you know, Japanese stuff, like I like the vintage Japanese artwork, or the card design rather, more than the English counterparts. But that's also why I was able to complete so many Japanese vintage sets compared to their English counterparts. Even at the time, right before the big boom, and you know, everything went crazy with prices. I don't know. people are just undervaluing Japanese side of the house, which is insane because if it wasn't for the Japanese side of the house, you wouldn't have any of these English sets. So, yes, sir. What's going on, Ice T? How we doing, man? How's the kid treating you? Just me being honest, dude. That's all I ever can be, right? Am I getting a Switch 2 now? So, no, the stuff that was showed off today, and yes, you know, the new reveal for Gen 10, what was it, Winds and Waves, or, yeah, Winds and Waves, looks kind of neat, right? But something I talked about with the boys from /frag, you know, obviously with, you know, that generation of Pokemon not coming out for at least another year, you know, they showed like 2027 tagline on the end. I'm in no rush to get a Switch 2. There's really nothing super appealing for me, like, oh, I need to get a Switch 2. But I'm also holding out to see if they do like a special edition for that game. So if they do a special edition for that, like special edition Switch 2, then I'll pick that up for sure. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Maybe the messages are lagging a little bit. We're on the same page, dude, same wavelength. They release a Switch 2, a Pokemon Switch 2. Yeah, you're good, you're good. If they do that, then yeah, I'll pick one up. But all right, let's get some of these binders out. I'll break out Mega Dream binder first, and then we'll break out some of these other smaller binders. Yeah, we'll do Mega Dream, then Team Rocket. All right. Keep myself on track here. But yeah, again, if they do a Switch 2 edition or a special edition, yeah, I'll probably pick that up. All right, let's break out the very, very premium, nice little padded binder here. Oh my goodness, there are so many messages popping up on my phone right now. This is why being in the military, you don't really get a lot of free time, even if you're in the reserves like I have for the last 17 years. Yeah, free time is just non-existent. But it's all right. I'll get to them in a minute. If it was something urgent, that number would have came across my phone, not like those other just bots that were calling earlier. But again, Mega Dream EX binder here, almost complete. I say almost because I still have some work to do, but we've come a long way. I've opened up 12 booster boxes, so almost a full case. For reference, there's 20 boxes in a full case. But yeah, very, very awesome set. Let's take a look and see where we left off. So this is the Mega Dragonite Mega Action card. So that is card 232. So right next to it, we got 233. 234 is the Pikachu, which is still a little bit too expensive for me, so I'm holding out on that one. 235 is next. We go right up here with the Electros. 6, 7, and then 8 goes here. And then, so here, I want to say that is the Gengar goes here, which is the most expensive card in the set. So I don't have that just yet, so missing 2 expensive cards. And then on the back, right, so we have Pheasantipity. Then we have, yep, so Metagross goes here. This is so insane. The absolutely beautiful Mega Dragonite SAR. So gracious that luckily I was able to pull 2 of them, which is still absolutely nuts. Especially, you know, one of them came from a God pack, and then, yeah, the other one was just pulled earlier. All right, so next goes right here. So I'm only missing 3 cards now, which is nuts. Missing the Pikachu, we're missing the Mega Gengar, and then we're missing the Gold Dragonite, Mega Dragonite that goes right here, which is card number 250. So outside of that, and you know, Salty, if you're still here, here's some of the duplicates that I have. So yeah, got some of the art rares, right? Which again, some pretty awesome art rares in this set outside of these, but you guys know how I feel about that. I'm not going to go into a rant about it. And then we have some of the item cards here, and some of the items, trainer and stadium. We do have some duplicates for the Mega Actions. And then some of the SARs duplicates as well. So if you're interested in anything, let me know. But yeah, again, only missing 3 cards from completing this set. And all 3 cards are really expensive. So either I'm going to wait it out and see if they'll keep dropping, or I'll wait to go to a card show and maybe do some trades for it, or maybe do like partial trade, partial cash kind of thing. But yeah, almost done. Probably one of the best sets of last year. Hilario, how we doing, friend? It's going well. Just going through some mail. Let's go through and we'll do the Team Rocket binder next. Let me grab that real quick. Oh. You know, I love going through this binder because not only does it have that very, very awesome Team Rocket logo on it, which, you know, I tried to order another one, but the company that made this, they're not putting this binder out anymore. So maybe I need to find someone on like Etsy to make one. But yeah, this is literally my favorite binder of all time because it has completed, and I know the camera's not really doing it justice, so I apologize, but completed Japanese Team Rocket set. Again, just absolutely stunning. Completed English Team Rocket set. Again, primarily first edition, right? Got the pre-release in here. Oh yeah, for sure. It's absolutely amazing. All right, so, and again, the only first edition holos I had were Here Comes Team Rocket, and now I get to put this in here. So we have the Dark Machamp. And again, I'm slowly working on getting the first edition holos, which again, this page is probably going to be a lot more expensive, but it's going to be worth it, especially because everything from this point on, every single card from here is all first editions, right? Which again, this was one of those things, just perfect timing when I purchased this and pieced this together. It's something that I'm going to hold on to, right? Even if I'm like, hey, I'm done with the hobby and I sell 99% of my collection, this is the one binder I'm always going to hold on to, especially with good old Dark Raichu up here. I do have a first edition, but I'm trying to get it graded. We'll see how it grades. If the grade comes back poor, maybe I'll put it in the binder. But then here is the... So there's another Team Rocket set, which unfortunately I didn't get, which was the Team Rocket Returns. They came out like early to mid 2000s. But this is the latest and greatest Team Rocket set. Again, another one that I'm very close to completing. As you can tell here, put a lot of time and effort into this set. So here, this goes right here. So the only two cards that I'm missing from this set, I'm missing the SAR Mewtwo, which of course I'm always missing Mewtwo cards, and then the Moltres. That's it. That will complete this set, which is kind of crazy because again, got some duplicates here, nothing too crazy though. But yeah, would I like to pull them? For sure, especially because they're both very expensive. But we'll have to wait and see. But again, almost complete. But yeah, this is my favorite binder. This is one of those things where, you know, hey, if lack of a better term, shit hits the fan, I'm grabbing this binder with a few other things and we're getting the hell out of here. All right. Next. All right, I need to grab a mini binder. Actually, there's going to be two separate mini binders here. One a little bit older and one new. So let's do first mini binder for this. This was the green mini binder. This is the Scarlet and Violet mini binder. I do have one for, well, yeah, I have one for Sword and Shield also, which is kind of crazy now I'm thinking about it. And then I have a new one for Mega Evolution because unfortunately it seems like we're going to be stuck with this Mega Evolution sub-generation for a while. So might as well keep collecting. But this binder, which as you can tell is absolutely packed. It's got a lot of absolutely beautiful art rares from all the different sets. Hey, look, there you go. Good old Salty. There you go, bro. Seeing it again. It's again such a simplistic card, but very, very neat nonetheless. I love all these trainers, by the way. I know they're SARs, but I thought this trainer and the way that they did these full art trainers was unique. But Yeah, absolutely insane. And then, so again, first half completely done. Here, these are all the Crystal EX full arts, which again, I've explained this a couple times. I'm still missing a few, but it's all the higher end ones. But since Scarlet and Violet Generation's done, they're not making any more of these. I'm glad I got these when I did, because if I ever decide to grade this whole set, which that's kind of the master plan, a little bit peel behind the scenes, I would love to grade every single one of these that I have, especially because I know they're all in near mint or mint condition. I either pulled them myself or I bought them from, you know, trusted sources, and I made sure they were good to go. But yeah, such a sick collection. And it goes into, so again, talking about these cards earlier, right? Very similar artwork design, right? And they just kind of carry that over into the Mega Evolution sets. So here, I'm not trying to ding these up. Let me move these off to the side real quick. But yeah, so again, couple of the cards, SAR, gold cards. Couple of the cards, SAR, gold cards. Couple of the cards, I still need the SAR, but I have at least one of the golds, and then I need another Giovanni. It's still a little bit expensive, but, and I also haven't decided whether SAR I want to put in here. I might get the Nido King again, just because I remember pulling that. That was the first SAR I pulled for that set. And then again, got a couple promos in here, and then just a random evolution in the back. I still haven't decided if I want to try and collect more of these. Pretty much everything outside the Umbreon has really come down in price on the Japanese side. So if you liked a lot of the cards from TerraFest EX and you want just these SAR evolutions, I think now is a very good time to start picking those up. But again, another pretty much full binder. Very, very cool little collection. But here's the newest iteration of that. Again, I want to pick something a little more drastic. So we have a bright yellow one. And again, same kind of concept, right? But these are from Mega Evolution, right? So you have art rares. And it's cool because what I'm doing for this one a little bit different than I did previously. I'm only doing 4 art rares per set. And I know there's more than that, and there's some great ones. But I'm just picking the ones. And actually, these two cards go together, by the way. I didn't know that until someone pointed it out to me. But these actually go together in terms of like artwork. But yeah, so I'm doing 4 art rares per set, which I'm behind. I know the latest Japanese set need to go here. I may take some of the other cards from Mega Dream because I know that goes in here also. Because yeah, the 4 would go from here, and then M3 would go here. But the next part is where I'm getting to update now. Goes in here. So this is 76, goes there. So I still need the other ones from here. So let's see what we got. Well, this is where it's a little bit different, right? This is going to be kind of like the Crystal EXs I had in the other binder, right? Where as many of these as they put out, I'm going to try and collect. So yeah, I still need... Let me look at the set list real quick. Yeah, because this came from M2. Yeah, let me just look at the set list real quick. Because again, I want to try to save space and not have to, move all this stuff back around. All right, just bear with me 1 second. If you're still hanging out in the stream. Oh, you know what? Might as well do this because I didn't do this at all. If you're enjoying this kind of content, make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I didn't do my shameless plug in this entire stream, which is hilarious. But yeah, again, those likes and subscribes really do help the channel grow. And we're getting very close to 900 again. Yeah, and again, if you are subscribed already, make sure you guys check out the Discord. Hit me up on Instagram. We're always putting out stuff on both of those channels. Again, I wish I could have the eBay store up and running again, but that's just not how this works. All right, so let's see. So here, got the set list. Love having the spare phone on standby. All right, so yeah, I still need 3 more. So you have Lucario, Absol, and then Mawile. So 1, 2, save a spot here. All right, so now we can go into the next one. And again, this is just from the Pokélector app. This is the app I use to track all my sets. All right, so next we have, and I can mark that off. All right, cool. So, so 2 here, save a spot. So next is going to go here. We have Absol. And then, ooh, do I not have Manectric? I guess I don't. So let me uncheck that. Save a spot. I thought I ordered that. Maybe that's one of the other cards I'm still waiting to come in. All right, this goes here. That goes there. And then this goes here. Okay. So again, a little bit of a work in progress here. Let me go back to the stream. There we go. But yeah, so again, the second half of this binder is going to be a lot of these cards here. And again, I'm probably not going to do like SARs or anything crazy in this one, right, depending on how many of these they put out. But yeah, again, a little work in progress. You got to start somewhere. But again, initially I wasn't going to collect anything with Mega Evolution, Sub-Generation, but I don't know. Just collecting, it always gets you. But that is going to do it for today's stream. We went through all that awesome mail. And again, picked up some absolutely amazing cards along the way. But that is going to do it for today's stream. Again, I'm going to take a break here shortly. Make sure I eat. And then I'm going to be on Marathon for pretty much the rest of the night. Probably going into tomorrow, depending on what the boys in ./frag want to do. But again, a little bit of a preview for Sunday's stream. Again, we're going to be opening up the latest and greatest Gem Pack Volume 4. Saya, what's going on? Thanks for coming by. You take care as well. Hopefully you have a great weekend. But again, a little bit of a preview for Sunday. 4 booster boxes of the latest Gem Pack Volume 4 Simplified Chinese set. Very, very excited to go through this because not only is it a new Gem Pack set, and I'm pretty sure it's the last one. I said that before. Yeah, get to break out the XL binder once again. So super excited to get through that. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm WakoBako. Take it easy. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys on Sunday.